Hey guys, thank you for watching. So today's video I decided to do a little bit of an update as to how my skin is doing, and then also talk about the difference between aromatherapy and acupuncture. I know a lot of people are just wondering, if they both have the same health benefits or could they be different. So first of all, just to tell you guys a little bit about my skin and how it's doing, it has actually improved a lot. I can see a lot of improvements around my cheek area, and then also along here on my jawbone. I actually just took the medicine, the pill, the doxycycline. So it's been about 30 minutes, but then from about yesterday, I think it was like the other day before, I started using the clindamycin 2 times a day now, and then of course the retin-A, I have to use it at nighttime. So I have put it on a schedule that I will put the clindamycin 2 times a day, and then of course by nighttime I wash the second one off, and then also put on the retin-A. So my skin has improved a lot. I can see that all the scarring and all the acne has started to settle down and go away. So that's the update. And then so now getting into aromatherapy and acupuncture. Aromatherapy actually is a very beneficial way for certain kinds of uses. That has been used since ancient Egyptian time, actually in North Africa mostly. Aromatherapy used to, one, be used as a perfume, and then also used for pharmaceutical purposes. And also one of the other things is that the pharaohs in ancient Egypt used to use essential oils to take care of their skin, to take care of their health, and that's it was also included in cosmetics. So I think that's very beneficial. And of course we do know that essential oils like lavender, eucalyptus, peppermint, rose oil have a lot of benefits, whether you are sick, whether you just want to use it in a cosmetic way. It is very beneficial. So one of the things that I do want to talk about is the differences, and then of course I will talk about some of the essential oils that we can use on a daily basis in order to take care of our health and take care of our skin. So aromatherapy is the use with essential oils, like I said. Acupuncture, on the other hand, is a use of acupuncture needles on certain parts of the body. They have to be certain points. You can't just put them anywhere that you want. You have to go to a specialist. The person that gives you the acupuncture has to be certified, has to be like on top of the line, because if they do anything wrong, whether putting the needles on a different kind of spot or putting it on the wrong spot, can actually damage your organs, damage your organs internally, damage your thyroid, and you can get many other kinds of problems. So make sure that when you go see an acupuncturist, they are certified, they are a specialist, and they actually know their job. So that's one of the most important things. With aromatherapy, it really depends. So if you are allergic, and if you know that you are allergic to certain kinds of essential oils like eucalyptus or lavender or rose, some people are allergic to rose, but then it's kind of very rare that that happens. But then at the same time, if you are allergic, I would say, kind of stay away from it. But then if you're not allergic, so essential oils like eucalyptus is very helpful. It's actually one of my favorite oils to use. It is anti-inflammatory, it is a decongestant, it can be used in deodorants actually, and it's antiseptic, antibacterial. And one of the other things about eucalyptus is that it's good for running nose, it's good for asthma. And it kind of gives you when you, for example, go to a steam room and they allow the use of essential oils, you can actually drop in a couple of drops on the floor of the steam room, and then that kind of gives you a relaxing feeling. And you can actually, it's so weird, I know, but you can actually stay in the steam room much more longer because of the smell. It is the smell of the eucalyptus oil, and it's also the fact that when your mind is relaxed, when you can breathe better. I know some people have a hard time breathing when they go to a steam room or when they go to a sauna, they can't stay so long, but then the eucalyptus oil at the same time counteracts that, and then it makes you actually breathe better. You can stay in the steam room better, although you should not be staying in the steam room too long because then that causes health problems. But then with eucalyptus, I know I can stay in the steam room for about maximum 10 minutes. So it really depends. It really depends on the person. But then it's also very good for nasal congestions, bronchitis, and it's also just a very good oil if you want to use it a tiny amount for your skin, because it does brighten up the skin and it also takes out scars. So what you can do if you do have a cold or if your sinuses are congested, you're gonna have to use a diffuser, or you can also use just take a pot and then put in some water in it, make it boil, and then once it is boiled, you can add about 3 to 4 drops of the eucalyptus oil in it, and then you're gonna put a towel over your head. Make sure not to burn yourself or the towel. And then what you're gonna do is you're just going to relax for about 2 minutes, 1 or 2 minutes, and then just let the aroma, the scent of it just go into your congested sinuses, and then that kind of helps with your breathing. So if you're like breathing through one nostril, I know that's very hard, and especially when you are sick. So that kind of helps to clear out the sinuses. And then also if you do have bronchitis, again, doing that with the water and then with the eucalyptus oil, that helps so much. And it's also used for diabetics. So with people with diabetes, what they can do is take the eucalyptus oil. It has to be done every night. And then you take the oil a little bit on the palms of your hands and you rub it on the soles of your feet. And that kind of massages, one, it does massage your feet, but two, it kind of increases the blood flow. And it also takes care of the insulin and then also your pancreas. And I know some people are like, oh my god, that is so weird. Yeah, I know it is weird, but at the same time, I think that is so amazing that one oil can do so much. Of course, other oils can help you so much in so many different ways, but at the same time, to me, eucalyptus oil has so many benefits, and I personally love the scent of eucalyptus oil. So the next thing, the next oil that I do want to talk about is lavender. I know some people might not like the smell of lavender oil. I don't know. Some people don't like it. I have no idea why. But then at the same time, it's so weird because in ancient Egypt, lavender oil used to be used to mummify the body. And then so when they did the mummification process, they would put in lavender oil on the mummy, and this would pretty much take away the bad smell that the dead body has. And then pretty much when they put it in the coffin, sorry, I can't talk, I really can't talk to it. When they put it into the coffin, that would kind of take away the bad smells and things like that. So there's a little bit of history for you. So, but just like eucalyptus oil, lavender oil has so many other benefits. It's good for stress relief. It's good for the congestions. If you have acne scars, if you have conditions such as eczema, it's really good for you. I know a lot of people who suffer from like eczemas, dermatitis. It's actually really good for dermatitis too. Dermatitis is the inflammation of your skin, and so what you have to do if you're not allergic, again, is you take a little bit of lavender oil and you warm it up in a sense. And it's so weird to say you warm up essential oils, but you do. So you take a pot, you put in a little bit of water in it, like not so much. You're not like cooking, you know, ramen noodles. You're not doing that. You put a little bit of water, and then you add in 4 drops of lavender oil. And you don't want to be too hot because you're going to be putting your fingers in there. You don't want to be too hot. So just mild, just warm enough that you can dip your fingers in there. So after that happens, you're going to put your fingers in there. And you're going to just put it all over the affected area. If you have eczema, wherever you do have eczema, you're just gonna put it all around there, and then you're just gonna let it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes. And then after that, you can actually, if you do this repeatedly on a daily basis, you can actually see the effects of it. You can see the results. They are great. And then also lavender oil can be used for people who have allergic reactions. So if you are a person that, for example, you eat nuts or you eat peanuts or a bee stings you, and then you go to anaphylactic shock, of course, that's a really severe stage of it. You need an EpiPen, but then at the same time, if you do a little bit of, if you show a little bit of, allergic reaction to like peanuts or something, you can just take lavender oil and you can rub it on that affected area again, and that kind of will calm and soothe the area. And then of course it is antimicrobial and it's anti-inflammatory, so it does help a lot. Of course you can't really ingest lavender oils, so make sure that you don't eat it. And then one of the other things that I actually love about lavender oil, which is pretty much the same like orchids, lavender oil actually refreshes the air. So people who are sick, people who've had surgery, people who are healing, like, I don't know, from the flu. So if you guys have paid attention, a lot of people get orchids sent to them when they're in the hospital after surgery. This is from my observance. And so one of the things that I did notice and then I researched about is lavender oil and orchids contain a chemical. When they are released in the air, they refresh in the air, and then they also, they not only refresh in the air, but then it also promotes healing. So people who have had surgery recently, let's say you've had like, I don't know, no surgery, or you've had like, I don't know, surgeries for, I don't know, your thyroid, your neck, your lymph, I don't know, whatever kind of surgery you had. So the orchids and the essential oils can be used to promote the healing, the speeding recovery. And then also, one of the other things, orchids are so beneficial. I know this is kind of a little off topic, but orchids can be used for people who have eczema. There are oils that are orchid oils, and so they can be used for people who have eczema, asthma, and allergic reactions. So that's, I think, one of the best things that you would give as a gift. Okay, so the next thing, the next oil that I want to talk about is peppermint oil. Peppermint oil is so beneficial for many reasons. One of the main things that peppermint oil is good for is it reduces stomach pain, and it also is good for digestive issues, and then it also boosts energy. So people who actually can handle eating peppermint leaves, so the fresh herb itself, it is so helpful. I know that whenever in my family, whenever someone has a stomach problem or they get like stomach pains or stomach cramps, what you do is you make peppermint tea, and that really helps to soothe and calm the digestive system, and it also helps to boost your metabolism at the same time. One of the other things that I did find about peppermint oil is that when you have like respiratory problems, such as bronchitis again, or you have respiratory tract infections and then you lose your voice, I know peppermint oil is so good, so you would put it in a diffuser. You would not put it in a humidifier, because you do not want to put essential oils in your humidifier. That's just so wrong. There are humidifiers, kind of, called diffusers. So the diffusers are used for putting the essential oils, okay, inside their little medicine cup thing. So, and then what you would do, you just fill it with water, and then of course you have the little medicine cup that you would put the essential oil in there. So you would put that and of course you would just leave it on. If it's you know, it really depends on the diffuser too, because some diffusers can go for 12 hours, some diffusers can go 24 hours, some diffusers actually run from 4 to 6 hours. So you gotta make sure that if you're putting this on, do not put it overnight if it's a 4 to 6 hour thing. I know, like I said, there are diffusers that go 12 to 24 hours, so it really depends. Although they are really pricey, but then they are really worth it to me. I think that it would help a lot if you have one of those. The next thing that I do want to point out is peppermint oil can be used to repel mosquitoes such as spiders, cockroaches, mosquitoes, mice. I know it's an animal, but and even lice. So if you use a little bit of peppermint oil, a tiny bit, so about like 1 or 2 drops literally, and you actually mix it in with your shampoo when you're washing your hair, just mix it in with your shampoo a little bit, and then if you do have you know, lice on your hair, or you have dandruffs on your hair, it really does help, and it also clears out your scalp. And then of course it is antimicrobial, it is antifungal, so it really has a lot of benefits. The next thing that I do want to talk about is rose oil. Oh god, I love the scent of rose oil, and it's so amazing. Just rose itself, the rose flower, is so so amazing, so beautiful to look at. One, and it of course has a great smell. So rose can be used to boost self-confidence, self-esteem, and it's used for depression, stress, and it's also good for people who get anxiety attacks, and then also go through stressful situations, or you know, you have kind of like a depressed life, as you would say. So it's also anti-inflammatory, and it's antimicrobial. So rose oil sometimes is used in a lot of cosmetic products. If you do use rose oil, you have to be careful that you do an allergy test first. So you do the allergy test. If it does break out on your skin, please do not use it on your face, because then your face is going to show the same thing. Your face is going to break out, and then it's going to be red all over. So do not use it. Make sure that you test rose oil before you try it on your face. It has a lot of benefits. It does kill the bacteria on your face. It's good for scarring. It's good for brightening up the face, but then you have to test it first. I know that a lot of people are allergic, so it's very beneficial for you, but then do an allergy test thing first. Okay? Okay. Okay. That's good. Okay, so the next thing that I do want to talk about rose is that it's very good for blood circulation too. So just the scent of it, I know it is so weird, but just smelling it and letting it, you know, do the steamy thing in the diffuser, it's going to help with your depression, your stress, your anxiety, and it's also going to boost your self-confidence, and it's also going to increase your metabolism. So I know this is the weirdest thing to say because you're not ingesting it, so it's not internally done, but then also at the same time, it's good for you. Let's just put it that way. Okay, so then the other thing for cycles that I do want to talk about, the cycles that I'm talking about are women who go through their monthly cycles. If you do get cramps, if you do get pain, I think it is so beneficial that you do have a diffuser with the essential oil rose in it, because it does increase your blood flow. It doesn't increase the blood flow to, you know, so you can get out a lot of blood, give out a lot of blood. That came out so wrong. Okay, so what I did mean to say is that the rose oil is very beneficial because it increases the blood flow to your heart, but then it takes away the pain that you do have for your cycles. That makes sense, right? That totally makes sense. I don't know, what is it? I can't like talk today, okay? But yes, that's why you use rose oil, okay? Okay. Okay, so now that I've talked about like 4 or 5 different kinds of oils, let's move on to acupuncture. So acupuncture, like I had mentioned before, has to be done by a professional. So acupuncture has been practiced for several years now. It actually originated in China, and this was it was a long time. So during the documents dated from 100 years ago leading up to the Common Era. And then one of the things that I do know about acupuncture is pretty much it's described as the healing using no medicine. That's what it is. So one of the most important concepts that you do have to know about the Chinese medicine is that balance is so important. So from the idea of balance, a series of fundamental things have came up. So one of the things that you guys do know is yin and yang. Of course, we do know that the yin yang is one of the greatest symbols. So nothing is pure, and nothing is pure yin or pure yang. So if that makes any sense to you guys. I know it's really confusing to get the concept and idea of yin and yang, but then the black and white pretty much embraces and intertwine in perfect symmetry. And then so the Chinese believe that balance, harmony is the key concept to medicine and to a natural and healthy lifestyle. It's so confusing. I know. It took me a while to kind of learn the concepts of it, but then at the same time I was like, okay, this kind of makes sense. Okay, so the practice of acupuncture is very interesting. You have different kinds of Chinese medicines that are used that are kind of similar to acupuncture. So needling is one of them, and cupping is one of them. So needling is the one with the acupuncture needles, and then cupping, if you guys have seen, they have special and different size cups that you would put in a cotton ball in there, and then you would light it, and you just put it in the cup, and then once you stick it onto the skin, the cotton ball actually does not catch on fire. It turns off, and then so that's the thing that really helps to increase blood flow, or you have any kinds of disease or whatever it is that you are going in for the acupuncturist to help you with. So the FDA, I do know that removed acupuncture needles from the category of experimental medicine device. There are certain kinds of needles. So the FDA actually regulates the acupuncture needles, because you can't just go and get some needle and be like, okay, I'm gonna start poking myself. No, you cannot do that. The acupuncture needles have to be specific for acupuncture. They can't just be any kind of needle that you do want. And then also they're very sterile, they're very clean, and one of the other things is they are hypodermic syringes. So that's that. So now the risks of acupuncture is sometimes, which is like really rarely, because these acupuncturists have to know their job, or else they would kiss their license goodbye. That's the thing. You have to become a certified acupuncturist. So sometimes if you are doing this because you have bronchitis, or because of the fact that you are suffering from some kind of respiratory tract infection, if the acupuncturist doesn't really know his or her job, they can give you pneumothorax, which is punctured lungs. And then lungs that are punctured, they can actually, the blood can just come out. And also one of the other things is that you're going to start coughing up blood. And so when your lungs are filled with blood, when you can't breathe and you have respiratory tract infection, that's just gonna, put you into a coma, that's gonna kill you, and all sorts of things. So there are very high risks of going to the acupuncturist, but then, like I mentioned, your acupuncturist has to be certified 100%, 1001%, because if they do their job wrong, you can damage your organs, you can damage your thyroid can go out of balance, and your hormones are going to be up and down. You're going to get like Hashimoto's disease, you're going to get Graves' disease, you're going to get this and that, and then your lymph nodes are going to start not work properly, and you're going to, God knows, produce more acne, you're going to have more scars. And so please be aware. I'm just letting you guys know. So the acupuncturist also uses these needles. They're a one-time use. You do not use them again on a patient. You don't just like go and, use these needles and be like, oh, okay, I'm going to use this on the next patient. No, these needles are sterile. Like, you use those needles, you're going to take them out, you're going to trash them, well, in the biohazard waste, and then you're going to go and get a new set of needles, and you're going to use them on the next patient, okay? Okay, that's how it's done. But then, to me, if I were to choose between aromatherapy and acupuncture, I would kind of go with aromatherapy, because it's a little bit more safer, and I don't want to put myself at a risk of, getting other kinds of disease, or, having my thyroid, be out of balance, or any other kinds of internal or outer damage. So I would kind of prefer aromatherapy. So it really depends on you and what your choices are. But then let me know what you guys kind of think and what you guys really want to do. Comment below and let me know if you prefer aromatherapy or acupuncture. Have a good day and enjoy your holiday. Happy New Year's, everyone. Bye.